Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be doing our top 10 films of the decade.
Yeah, so we've decided that we'll do like a mini series because it is the start of a new decade. It's the first full decade that we've like lived through. So obviously we were born late 90s, so we thought what better than to look back at everything.
Yeah.
We've kind of picked a list that are films that we both liked, so obviously there are things that aren't on the list that I would have put on and he would have put on, etc. So we've just come up with a list that we both agreed on, otherwise this video would have been too long.
Mega long. Mega long.
Too long. Yeah, so
obviously if you like it, hit the thumbs up and smash subscribe, and we hope you enjoy.
yeah. So the first film that we have chosen, it's kind of two films, but they both come out in this decade. So it's Split and Glass. So Split came out in 2016 and Glass came out last year in 2019. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is so clever. James McAvoy, the main character, he plays the main character. He is insane. Like,
It's mad. He
It's
plays
brilliant.
so many different people.
yeah, we saw them both in the cinema. The first one, I'm not going to lie, the first time I watched it, I wasn't really sure what was going on. And I had to watch it again to like understand it and do a bit of a research on it. When you actually understand it, it's mind-blowing.
It is.
And I think it's also like a prequel or a sequel or something to an old film by the same guy, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's like in the same sort of series. So that was like quite
Old school.
old. But yeah, so we would highly recommend that.
100%, yeah. And so the next film is also two films as well. One came out quite recent and one a couple years ago, and that is Jumanji, or Jumanji, however you meant to say it. Which, if you haven't seen it, it's like Jack Black, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other woman's name.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, there's basically like Jumanji is like a game. They like find this old console, get lost in the game, and then they have to play the game to survive. So like they're different people, and then when they come into the game is when they become like
The
Dwayne
characters.
Johnson, Kevin Hart,
Yeah.
who are the game's characters.
It sounds really complicated. It's also like a remake of an old film,
Yeah.
which is Jumanji with Robin Williams in it. But I don't think it's like 100% the same kind of storyline. It's based on the game, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very funny.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Hilarious.
So definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. So the next one is also another series of films. We didn't do very good at picking just one film.
Not good at all.
But a series of films, which is The Purge. I don't know if I've actually seen all of them, because there is quite a few now.
I think I've seen all of them now.
But they
apart from the
are
series.
amazing. So the basic idea of it is there's one night of the year where everything goes on shutdown. There's no police, there's no army, nothing like that. And you can basically do what you want for like 24 hours. So you can go and kill whoever you want to kill. You can go and rob a bank. You can go and do that. And like nobody can do anything about it. And obviously there's lots of crazy people who go mad and kill loads of people and wear masks, and everyone has to like block up their houses to protect themselves if they don't want to go out and take part in the purge. And it is just clever. Very, very good. I think Amazon have done a TV
There's like
series
a
on it
sort
now.
of TV series of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
which I'm sure we'll watch at some point.
100%, yeah.
But yes, if you like those sort of thrillery films, watch the Purge series.
Yeah. So next up we have Jurassic World. So obviously it was like quite a big gap between the films. Obviously you had like
Yeah.
the Jurassic Park films, and then obviously this came out in 2015. And that is now on number 2.
2 or 3, isn't there?
Two,
I think there's 2, they're making a third, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. We've gone with the first one because the first one's usually the best one.
Yeah.
I think in this case that is still true.
Yeah, it's always on telly as well.
Yeah.
So it's one of those films you always watch
Yeah.
because it's just always on.
Yeah, so this one's like, they're basically on an island where they're basically made the dinosaurs into like an attraction park kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like their own little like theme park.
Yeah, and obviously things go wrong, they break out, and they're on the island, so
Yeah.
there's not exactly anywhere to go. And it's like a good action film, really.
It
isn't
is, yeah. And who doesn't like dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Basically,
I like
dinosaurs are great.
dinosaurs.
I love dinosaurs. Okay, moving on. So the next film that I have chosen is quite difficult to explain, like what actually happens in the film, and I don't want to say too much without giving it away because it's such a clever film. So this is Get Out, and it was 2017 that it came out, and I know it won loads and loads of awards. So I've actually got it up on my phone, like just to try and say what happens without saying what happens. So there's basically an African-American man who goes to visit his Caucasian girlfriend's house for a weekend. Everything seems normal. Everything is not normal. And it just turns very quickly. I don't want to say too much because it's so amazing. Like, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but I really, really recommend it. Like, the psychologically, like, thriller side of it is mad.
So the next one we've got on the list is Big Hero 6. Now this is probably like one of my all-time favourite films now. Like, I absolutely loved it when it came out. And if you haven't seen it already, like, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
So like, in the film, I can't remember their names. Basically, there's a little boy. His brother, like, is some like science geek basically. And he created like Baymax to like basically help people. And I'm not going to give away what happens, but it kind of like goes on a story of the little brother and Baymax, basically. I don't want to go into too much detail because if you haven't seen it, I could give away the really sad bit.
It can be really sad. The guy's called Hero, by the way. I
Hero,
just googled
of course,
it.
yeah. I don't know, I didn't remember that.
No.
But yeah, and like he does like bot fighting and everything as well. Like, it's just really good.
It is.
And it's hilarious.
It's nice to have a Disney film that isn't like all princesses and...
Yeah.
I mean, I love those. I always will. But it is nice to have something that is slightly different.
Yeah.
And they did really well with it being one of their first films that were like that, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, absolutely love it.
So sticking with the Disney theme, obviously, I could do a top, like, I don't know, every Disney film that I love. But the one that I have picked from this decade was Moana. So that was out in 2016. I love everything about it. She's not like... So all of the old Disney films are like a princess falling in love with a man and all of that, like, typical relationship-y stuff. And this is just her going, actually, I'm pretty badass and I'm going to do what I have to do to save my island. And then Tamatoa is a crab. And I'm not going to say much more about him apart from the fact we love him. He's the best Disney character other than him and Hey Hey, who is also the other best Disney character in the film. So he's a little cockerel and we love him, and I recommend it. Everything about it is so beautiful. The songs are amazing. It's got Dwayne Johnson in it. He plays Maui, and I just love it.
It is so good.
I just love it so much.
It is so good. So next up, it's another Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson film, and it is Central Intelligence. So I don't know if I can explain this without like giving too much away. But basically, Dwayne Johnson is part of like the CIA, but kind of like gone rogue.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you explain it, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
But like he's proper like, not like official kind of thing.
And
like,
he's not like bad rogue. He's not like evil.
Yeah.
But
he basically starts off the film really fat as well. And like it's like in high school, and like Kevin Hart's really popular. Like he was like voted most like likely to succeed.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson, like there's a scene that's really funny where he gets chucked out into like the sort of like hall where everyone is, like, and he's completely naked.
Dwayne Johnson in a fat suit is just
it's so funny.
I love it.
But then like it obviously like does a big time jump, and like Dwayne Johnson obviously completely ripped. Yeah. And he finds Kevin Hart, messaging him, they meet up, drink, and then start hanging out, and then just stuff starts going wrong.
All hell breaks loose.
But it's definitely worth a watch. Like, it's really entertaining, and like just another really funny film.
Yeah, when it first came onto Netflix, I hadn't seen it, so Alex made me watch it, And then every week he was like, can we put Central Intelligence on? Do you want to watch a film? Yeah?
I just love any
Central
film with those
Intelligence?
two together though.
Yeah, no, they are like probably the best.
Because they got such a
actors
bromance
ever.
anyway. Like
It's
when they're in the film
amazing.
together, I think it
Yeah.
kind of
It definitely
makes it even
helps.
better.
So the next film that we chose was Don't Breathe, which came out again in 2016. We went and saw this in the cinema, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were like the only people in the cinema. Like there might have been like one other person, which made it
dead.
even more scary. Like it was intense. So it's not like a horror film in the way where you've got like zombies and monsters and all of that. It's
about,
more
like suspense, kind of like proper tense moments in that.
It's so clever. So basically these people go and rob this house and it's a blind man and you think he's pretty vulnerable and you're going to get in and out and nothing's going to go wrong. But everything goes wrong. This guy is not just a blind man.
He's very clever, man.
Some of it's really hard to watch. I will put that out there. There was a scene which I really struggled watching. But I will 100% watch the film again and again. It was so clever and so good. And like, I like a lot of horror thriller films. If I'm not watching Disney, that's the sort of film I'm watching. You're more comedy and action.
Yeah.
But you really, really enjoyed it.
Amazing. Like you're proper like throughout like the whole film, you're just like sat on the edge of your seat.
Oh, completely.
Just kind of like, oh my god. Like, because I don't know how they do it. It's just
It's so intense.
you're constantly there, like glued to the screen. Like you're like all tensed up, like
Yeah,
like,
it was just
don't do this, or like, oh no, don't go there.
constantly.
Like, yeah. Like,
I just-
and it's just in someone's house.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It's so clever. Like, it is pretty much just set in the house as well, so it's not really like much different scenery.
Yeah.
But for them to be able to keep you hooked, for it just being in one little place, it's
It's crazy.
it's mad. So yeah,
Mad.
Don't Breathe. Go watch it.
Are you telling them not to breathe?
No, that's the
Don't
name.
breathe.
Don't
just watch
Breathe
it.
is the name of the film.
Okay.
Right, last one.
Yeah, so moving on to the last one, and we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, who doesn't like that? It's hilarious.
It's very funny.
Um,
I hadn't actually seen it until we were together.
really?
And it came out in like 2014, and I don't think I watched it till probably 2017. And I love it. I don't know why I never watched
I
it.
love
The
I think
soundtrack.
it's the fact that it's like, yeah. Hey.
Anyway. But yeah, it is great. And Groot has a special place in my heart.
Groot's awesome. It's just the fact that it's like, it's an action film, but full of comedy.
Yeah.
And I always like those two when they combine.
Yeah, like the only action films I really like are Marvel films. Everything else I kind of just get a bit bored at. But that I loved. And I mean, it is actually owned by Disney too. They have a new Guardians of the Galaxy ride opening up in a couple of years and it's going to be insane. But
so good.
yes, we love it. And honestly, like, the soundtrack music for me is such a big thing, and like the first song that comes on you're like, yeah, great song, and then the next song comes on and you're like, no way, and then it's just like the whole film you're like, they have picked the best music.
They're so good. We're probably overdue
just-
watching that again, to
Yeah,
be fair.
we'll watch it again.
It's been too long.
Definitely.
So good. So that is our top 10 films of the decade.
Yep.
Obviously, that's probably completely different to everyone else's, because we have combined both of ours together, just to kind of shorten it and just keep it at 10.
There's lots of stuff on there that I would have loved to have put on there.
Like there's probably so many films we've forgot and left off as well.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of 10 that are like
Stood out.
stuck in our head and like
Yeah.
stood out for like the decade.
Definitely.
So obviously let us know what your like top 10 are, or just what your top film is, whatever.
If you agree with any, or if you think any of the ones that we've said were absolutely awful,
Yeah,
like,
which I'm sure some of you probably think that. Everyone's got like different tastes. So
Yeah.
just let us know. And that is going to be the end of today's video.
So we have got a couple more coming, like I said at the start of the video. This is going to be a mini series. I think we've got 2 more, which we're going to do about the decade. So look forward to those ones.
So hit the thumbs up and smash the subscribe down below. And we'll see you next time. Bye.